Happy Wednesday, everyone, and welcome back if you are here for another episode, and welcome if you are new. Today is the start of an absolutely crazy cycle, once again, that happens every 3 months. Earnings seasons, baby! Today we have ServiceNow, and today's video is going to be divided into 2 sections. So I'm going to be going over primarily all about ServiceNow and also very much software-related stocks. Full disclaimer, I am long ServiceNow. I'm also very bullish on ServiceNow too. But there's a lot of hibbity-jibbities and a lot of rumors out there on social media, let alone a lot of really negative sentiment interviews around software-related companies. The second half of this video, I'm going to actually be doing a video review. I found a pretty decent video on Fox Business that I do want to talk about. Cathie Wood, she is ARK Invest, very big investor, and I kind of really want to share this video, go over it. This video link is going to be down in the description. She is now long SpaceX and also very much sees Tesla turning into one company, or pretty much combining SpaceX into, Tesla, or Tesla into SpaceX. So the second half of this video is going to be primarily on this. If you're just going to be here for ServiceNow and you enjoy my content, smash the like button, hit all the buttons, subscribe, entirely free. I put out videos on this YouTube channel Monday through Saturday. So here we go. ServiceNow. Okay, ServiceNow is reporting earnings after the bell, and the stuff that matters more than anything, matters more than EPS, earnings per share, matters more than their net profitability. I ended up having AI do pretty much a little comparison here for their compound annual growth rate compared to Adobe, compared to Salesforce, pretty much past 3-year revenue for a CAGR. If you ever hear the word CAGR from anyone on like the TV or other YouTube videos that don't actually say compound annual growth rate, it's basically what a company is growing year over year, pretty much. So, ServiceNow is obviously very rich when it comes to, if you are a growth investor, ServiceNow is going to be more appealing. I just ended up taking Adobe as a loss a couple weeks ago because the management team pretty much jumped shift. And compared to CRM, Salesforce is a great company as well. But ServiceNow, a lot of people are looking at as being a cash king. And when you are a software company in a very fearful time that we are in right now, having a large growth rate, and even if their growth rate does slow down, like future projection is 15.7, I mean, it could significantly be a little lower, it could be a little higher, but at the same time, you have ServiceNow very much above, if not double, than Adobe, and also very much higher than CRM as well, too. Obviously, other software companies, you got Microsoft, basically the top banana. You also got Palantir up there, too, which I am long. I'm also bullish on Palantir. I'm also bullish on all software companies. The thing that caught me off guard with Adobe is the management team. I started to buy Adobe before the CEO pretty much, put in the towel saying, hey, I'm going to resign. Now the CFO is resigning too. I really don't want to stick around for a new management team. I like the management team at Salesforce. Pretty much William McDermott, the guy, when he goes on CNBC and when he does a lot of interviews, he basically sounds very much like he's going to lead the company into a very high growth rate for the future. So what matters most at this earnings? More than their earnings per share, more than their revenue, more than pretty much anything, what matters most? It's the future guidance. That is pretty much all that matters when it comes around these stocks reporting their earnings. We got the big dog, Microsoft, reporting very soon. And then, like I said, Adobe, they came in with, well, I mean, when you have a management team very much like leaving, a lot of people can very much say, okay, well, the management team is guiding very strong guidance, and we have a new management team coming in. But a lot of people can really look at that and saying, well, wait a second, it doesn't matter if the management team is guiding very higher. The old management team is leaving. I don't trust the new management team. I'm gonna go elsewhere. And a lot of people chose to do that. So ServiceNow is very much kicking off today, and they could very much start a spiral effect. We're seeing a lot of scarce right now. A lot of scarce. A lot of people are scared shitless. Trying to keep it PG on this YouTube channel, but sometimes it's very hard to do so. Yeah, a lot of people are very scared of ServiceNow's guidance. This earnings is probably going to be like AMD's earnings last quarter. I'm an AMD bull as well, too. I also am long AMD. If you want to see my public profile dedicated to this YouTube channel, I showed it in yesterday's video. I'm not going to have time today to go into it. Tomorrow, I more than likely will. But AMD is a massive position for me. And AMD's earnings several months ago, they dropped their earnings. The stock was down by 5%. The guidance came out. The stock was up by 20%. Okay? It's all about the guidance. So ServiceNow can drop their guidance. I mean, drop their earnings. And the stock could be down another 5%. Their CEO, their management team comes out, friggin' kills it, and sounds overly confident. And how do you know when a management team is giving great guidance? They come in and they own the room. If you have never listened to a conference call, you can go to their website. You can even find it on YouTube if you trust other content creators to really play like the actual all the conference calls. But I mean, you can go directly to their website. You can literally click on the investor relation page and you can listen on the conference call, okay? The conference call that they post, it's public and it's designed to be public to get people into their like ecosystem of being a shareholder and maybe even a product user as well too. So when a management team comes on deck and basically pretty much just says, yeah, everything's, better than expected. Everything's greater. Lisa Su, the CEO of AMD, for their last quarter, that's what she did. She came in the conference call. She's like, our demand is absolutely unreal. Our demand's going high. And the stock was just going up and up and up and up and up and up and up. She's not pumping her own stock. She's telling it how it is. The demand for AMD chips are going crazy. So you have the CEO of ServiceNow come in and give pretty much the same guidance, and the guidance is going to be great. The guidance is going to calm people's anxiety. We're going to see the start for software-related companies very much recover. Now, you can very well have ServiceNow do great on their earnings. You can have very well, let's say, Salesforce, or rather even Microsoft is a lot of my companies are reporting next week. Next week is SoFi. Next week is the Fed. You got Microsoft. I think even Meta is reporting on. Yeah, you got Wednesday of next week is it's going to be crazy, especially if you are long pretty much the same stocks as me. A lot of conference calls to listen to, and also if you are in stocks, you should be listening to a conference call. You don't need to be a financial advisor to tell someone to listen to a conference call. You should be listening to a conference call, especially if you're risking your own money, even though it's a long-term position, right? So we could have ServiceNow do great. Microsoft could do terrible. Microsoft could bring down the entire software-related companies. Palantir could blow it out of the water once again and go down. It's all about the guidance. The guidance is what people really want to see around software-related companies. And this is what's going to really make or break for pretty much like the industry. Because we are in a very hardware-driven environment right now. Software is not running, okay? You got the semis, you got the chips. They're very much being backed. Then you also got the memory companies. You got Micron, you got SanDisk, even though they've gone down a little bit because of fears, but still, Hardware is where all the big money is going because companies are spending money on hardware. They're not spending money necessarily on software as much as hardware. Now, are software companies going to come back alive? Absolutely. Why didn't I choose to stay into Adobe? Like I said, because the management team jumped ship. That's the reason why. I could very much be in a stock, and I actually just started buying Netflix. Netflix CAGR is going down, but Netflix is an entirely different segment. So I have bought into companies where their annual growth rate is going down. But the thing about software companies is that if their annual growth rate is going down, there is so much fear about them being irrelevant. It's like a double whammy. Imagine if Netflix, for example, their growth rate is going down, but then they also have a major competitor. Now, what is a major competitor to software companies? Artificial intelligence, AI. Yeah, that's a major competitor. Does Netflix have a major competitor? No. Netflix is having a decrease of their growth rate because the consumer is being hit because of high oil prices at the pump. Energy costs because of the stuff in the Middle East. Okay? Take away the stuff in the Middle East, you're going to see Netflix very much go up. But here's the reality. Is AI going away? AI is not going away. A lot of people don't really understand that AI, it's the amount of money that these companies are spending, it's not going to go away. And plus, AI has very much been here for many decades. We've been using AI. It's not to the level that it is, versus like 30, 40 years ago, okay? A lot of people, when you go ahead and type stuff in onto Google, it is a artificial intelligence. Go back 10, 20 years, type stuff in on Google. Is it not AI? Sure, Google was a search engine. It's obviously grown with their AI. But AI has been around very much longer than people think it is. Just because these chatbots, aka Gemini, Claude, Grok, ChatGPT, many more to come in the future. They're stepping on up, but artificial intelligence itself has been around for a while now. Software companies, though, a lot of fear. So, what do I overall think ServiceNow is going to deliver on? A lot of me is really thinking that they're going to come in with strong guidance. But on the flip side, I can't really ignore a lot of what is being said around software-related companies and also the demand. So you could see kind of a mix in a way, but here's the reality. The reality is that if they come in with very bad guidance or weak guidance, ServiceNow is very much going to break a lot of levels on the charts, and we could very much see ServiceNow back in the 80s. Would I be picking up some more ServiceNow shares? I would, but it's going to very much be it's going to be one of those hard buys. And the reason being is because for me, buying ServiceNow in the 80s or even maybe in the 70s, it's going to be like I gotta buy, but at the same time, I'm also a little scared. Because ServiceNow is a great company, just like any other software company out of there. And for these software companies to be hit this much, since like you're talking about 2023, a lot of these companies really started rock and rolling. But even before 2023, you're talking about breakout of 2020 to really return to those levels many years ago. It's a little scary. I mean, they've obviously ServiceNow's earnings have obviously beyond doubled since 2020, but now the stock price is very much giving up all of those gains. So imagine if you were buying ServiceNow at $200. Imagine if you were buying ServiceNow at $150, $140. You're definitely very much lower than you are right now. So if ServiceNow does go down, I'm going to be picking up some more shares, but at the same time, it's going to be a scary buy for me. Very scary, because if they cannot guide on a very bullish sentiment, then what is the rest of the year going to be? And when are these software companies going to pretty much rebound? Is it going to be next year? Is it going to be the next 2 years, maybe 3 years? ServiceNow could very well turn into PayPal, which was pretty much dead money for me. Ended up reclaiming PayPal because they ended up had a glorious buyout. But I still lost a little bit of money by selling PayPal when they ran up because of a buyout. Still could be dead money, right? Okay, so that's really my perspective on ServiceNow. Overall, ServiceNow is a great company, just like Adobe's a great company. It's all these software companies are great companies. Not knocking down the actual company itself, or even their products are phenomenal. ServiceNow uses a lot more AI products, obviously, than Adobe, and also Salesforce. Actually, hold on one second. No, don't quote me on that. It might be Salesforce. Might be Salesforce. One of the two companies actually integrates AI a lot more. Adobe is really the one that really was giving a lot of people fear about being replaced by AI. But ServiceNow, Salesforce, both of them very much use AI in their business model, which a lot of people are actually very much liking that. Okay, so onward to this second part of this video for today. Cathie Wood, ARK Invest, who is she? So Cathie Wood has made a tremendous amount of money from taking a long position in Tesla many, many years ago. And she manages about $30 billion in a ETF, the ARK Invest Fund. And a lot of people would really argue, and I'll even go ahead and pull up the ARK Invest Fund right now. Let's go ahead and see. ARK Invest, where are you? ARK Innovation ETF. Okay. So, I'm on the daily time frame right now. So all of these candles represents 1 day. 1 day on these candles. And yes, the video on the screen just froze for some reason. What do you notice about the ARK Invest? Well, if you bought the ARK Invest pretty much at the high of April of 2021, you are down 5 years later. The ARK Invest is, in my opinion, not the best. I mean, you could very much have a better return if you just bought the Qs or bought the SPY. If you bought the SPY at all-time high back during 2021, you would be up right now significantly. I'm talking like over 100%. Let's go ahead and look at this, right? You bought the SPY back in, when was it? April of 2021. April of 2021. 400. Let's call it even at $400. The SPY's at 700, so that's like maybe a 75% gainer. Let's go to the Qs. Gotta bring in the Qs. Let's go to April of 2021 here. 315, give or take, and the Qs are at 708. That is beyond 100%. So if you bought the market, the United States of America, the market, if you bought the market, you beat ARK Invest. So ARK Invest, they funneled in and they made a lot of money from Tesla. Tesla was the primary driven revenue driver around Cathie Wood. Now, Cathie Wood, she is very much perceived as being a long-term trader, and hopefully she doesn't watch one of these videos, but it's very much my opinion of her trades, because she does post her trades on her website, and she's very much perceived as being a long-term trader, but I've seen her sell and buy out of SoFi. I've seen her sell out of Tesla and buy in Tesla. A lot of people, one, really forget that when you are an ETF or you manage a lot of money, you are very much open to discounts rather than people like myself who is retail, people like you all that are retail. If anyone from Wall Street is watching, well, you're not retail. If I were to had bought SpaceX, I more than likely would have paid 135, maybe 140, maybe 150 on the share price. I'm retail. Retail gets screwed, right? Well, SpaceX is obviously very much down from the IPO. Now, when you are you manage an ETF or you're a big investor, you are very much opened to opportunities that retail is not open to. And when a company IPOs, they could very well have bought in SpaceX at a cheaper price than retail. And this is where a lot of people can't stand Wall Street, because they're like, why does Wall Street get access to, a cheaper IPO than someone like us, right? Because they have a lot more money. That's what it comes down to. So I'll put this video down in the description. It's worth a watch. But to really sum it up, Cathie Wood, firstly, is stating that Tesla and SpaceX someday is probably going to be one. Now, talking about forward guidance on a company, SpaceX, or rather Tesla runs on guidance. Their earnings per share, their revenue sucks. They're not growing like they did back in 2020 and 21. The reason why so many people are a believer that Tesla is going to be accumulated by SpaceX, aka Elon Musk is just going to combine companies. And the reason being is because Tesla is nothing like it used to be. The money has already been made in Tesla. If you buy Tesla today, you got to understand, like, the stuff Elon has talked about did not come true. Okay, robotaxi is not dominating America. The need for EVs, it's not like people thought it would be. A lot of people saw the vision that everyone was going to be driving a friggin' EV. No, that's not the case. Okay, so in theory, Tesla is one of those companies that runs on guidance, just like we need guidance today from ServiceNow. So ServiceNow, if they come in with a banger guidance, that's the equivalent of Tesla coming in with strong guidance as well. Tesla trades rich because of Elon Musk and his also crazy forward-looking guidance. So Cathie Wood is very much bullish on SpaceX. Do I believe that she's doing an interview because and by the way, her and Elon, she does do a lot of interviews with Elon. It's very public knowledge. Like they have done a lot of conferences together. They have done a lot of interviews together. They have been seen together, like in public, events. So is it possible maybe she's on like Fox Business to really calm a lot of scariness around SpaceX? Very much could be true. But Maria here on the left-hand side, in the white suit, she did bring up a very good point in this video. She brought up a good point that, hey, SpaceX is going to be unlocking a lot of shares very soon, which is going to add selling pressure. Because people, such as people that are working in SpaceX or institutions, they are basically locked up and they can't sell any of their shares. This is how, when a company goes public, there is a lockup period. And when that lockup period ends, that's when people can start taking profits. People can maybe take a loss. People can very much move out if the money's been made for them. So there has not been one company in the history of the U.S. stock market, and fact check me if you don't believe me, there has not been one company where when the lockup period is over, you see selling pressure pretty much happening. And that's what a lot of people are very much waiting for. Now, am I going to own SpaceX someday? Absolutely. When is that day going to happen? It's nowhere near for me. I mean, that might be a shell shocker, but no. I'm a disciplined investor and also disciplined trader too. Been in the market for 6+ years now, and I've been around this game for a while. I remember the crazy IPOs of 2020, 21, and if you look at the vast majority of those companies, they're down from their IPOs. Palantir was one of those companies. Palantir is obviously up, but not every company is a Palantir. Not every company is a AMD. Not every company is a Tesla. Even though Tesla is very much, in my opinion, on a decline of their life cycle as a company. Still, though. So, when would I actually go in on SpaceX in conclusion of today's video? It's probably going to be about 1 year before profitability. Profitability for SpaceX, they're looking probably about maybe 2030. So I definitely will be covering SpaceX more. But I mean, me personally, I have other opportunities I'd much rather put my capital in. And yeah, SpaceX could very much go a lot lower for the short time. And then in the next 6, 12, 24 months, SpaceX could be stuck very much below or stuck in a range. Basically, SpaceX runs up a little bit, SpaceX goes down a lot, and it's a range. It's a range until profitability basically pretty much happens. So if you enjoyed today's video, smash the like button. New video tomorrow. A lot of stuff I'm going to be going over. Stay tuned for more stuff. We got 1 week until apocalyptic day of the Fed governor talking, SoFi, Microsoft, Meta. Oh, it's going to be a lot of earnings. Crazy times. Later, everyone.